Mahoning County Board of Elections will hold a special adjourned board meeting of the members of the board on Monday, May 19th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoning County Board of Elections office at 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio, 44502, and a recess to reconvene again on Monday, May 19th, 2025 at 4 p.m. for the certification of the May 6th, 2025 primary special election. Would the director call the board?
Vice Chairman Barger.
Here.
Attorney Robinson.
Here.
Attorney Bayer.
Here.
Would I ask that Denise Bayer lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I ask for a moment of silence for our nation? I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of the May 5th and 6th, 2025 adjourned regular meeting.
I move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
The director call the roll.
Vice Chairman Barger.
Yes.
Attorney Robinson.
Yes.
Attorney Bayer.
Yes.
And now the board will determine the validity of the provisionals late arriving and overseas ballot cast in the May 6th, 2025 primary election.
Okay,
Special
Ann,
election.
Want to lead us here?
Absent.
Let's go
Okay.
with
Now
you.
we all,
You want?
we have a list like this in your
Okay.
packet.
Start opening.
Yeah.
I have them pulled up the list.
Okay.
And I will.
Yes.
And Ms. Ann Sims is going to do an excellent job of telling us she sorted them all out.
Okay. Where was that suggestion? You're gonna go to your path.
This packet too?
Yes. This.
This packet.
Mhm.
What page?
The last 2 pages, please.
Thank you. So first, we're going to do the ballot, or you want to do the invalid first?
We're going to start with the ballot and the staff can start opening and processing.
Okay.
While the board.
We have a total of 87 absentees, 73 to be counted as valid.
Okay.
This is absentee requests sent but not voted. And we have 5 of those. You want to see them? You guys want to see exactly what they are? Good.
And they're not valid for date, or?
I'm sorry.
You
We have
said
5
that-
absentees that are valid. The absentees were sent, but the people didn't send their ballots back in. That's how I should have said it.
Okay.
So they're valid. No, they're valid. They requested an absentee application. We sent them the ballot, but the ballots wasn't never received back to the board. So they went to the polls to vote, and they voted a provisional ballot. So they were able to have credit in the ballot. was
Okay,
counted.
okay.
Anybody else see, or you good?
No, we're good.
At the polls, voters went to change their address and name change, and they were valid, and this is good too, and that's only 1. Address changes, they changed their addresses, everything was validated, and that was 39.
Okay. Well, that helps update the records, huh?
Yes, and everything was updated here at the polling location.
Great.
These voters moved into our county. We verified with other counties within the state of Ohio that they didn't vote there, so they were able to get credit in their ballots will count here in Mahoning County, and that was 7.
Great.
We have 4 name changes, but they're still at the same address, and they were valid too, so, and they voted eventually. These people is 17. They voted in their own precinct. I don't know why. We don't have a reason, but they didn't vote an absentee application.
Okay.
And that's considered, going back, is the right church, wrong pew ballots. And there's a court decision on that where the voter made the attempt, they made it to the right location, let's say St. Christine's, but they voted in the wrong precinct.
Okay.
So it's called right church, wrong pew, but the ballots were all the same this time in Youngstown. And so we count those ballots as poll worker error.
And do we want to make a motion here to vote on the valid provisional ballots
Yeah,
first?
yeah. If we can have a motion to accept the 73 total
73.
ballot ballots, and then the staff can start opening and processing.
Can I make a motion on that, I think, even though I'm chair?
Yes.
Yeah.
So moved.
What's your motion?
To accept the 73 valid provisional ballots. Do I have a second?
I second.
Absentee provisionals.
Okay, absentee provisionals. Director, call the roll.
Vice Chairman Barger,
Yes.
Attorney Robinson,
Yes.
Attorney Bear.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. We have a total of 14 invalid ballots, starting with one no birthday. I did need direction and the reason why there's no birthday.
Pass that down. Under Ohio law, provisional applications has to include the birth date, and then we included
The reason.
the reason why. We did try to contact that voter.
Yes. No ID on vote. No ID. And that's a total of 7.
And they were contacted too to
They
bring.
were, we had a couple of them said, some came in,
Okay.
some didn't. But these people
Did not.
did not.
And just to be clear, just because we have some new board members, they are given a sheet, when they vote provisionally, they're given a sheet of the 4 days of the curing period, when they can come back to the board and bring their ID.
Correct.
And we call them, which we aren't necessarily required, but we do.
Three are registered in the state of Ohio. And we usually go in, and I do go into the Ohio State database just to make sure if they're not registered in another county or city somewhere, and they weren't.
But they are registered now in the
They
Hunter
are.
County.
This person voted in the wrong county. They were supposed to vote in Summit County,
Okay.
but they was determined to vote here anyway. And
Well, they wanted to vote. We found that important. And do we make any notification to them?
well, what I send the registration to Summit County.
Okay.
And she knew she was supposed to vote in Summit County. but
Okay.
She was determined to vote here anyway. These two people they voted in an absentee ballot. Their absentee ballot was not received at the Board of Election, so they were determined to vote anyway. So once we received their absentee ballot, that ballot counted for the provisional.
Still
vote
does
number.
not, right. Okay. Thank you.
And that's a grand total of 14.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to invalidate the 14 invalid provisional ballots?
I move to invalidate the 14 provisional ballots just presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Will the director call the roll?
Vice Chairman Barger,
Yes.
Attorney Robinson,
Yes.
Attorney Bear.
Yes.
Okay. Now we got absentees, right?
The absentees. many?
Chris and Campbell.
Chris hasn't got many?
Grand total says 59. Is that 59 or the valid absentee ballots were 22?
Right. Those are the ones that's valid. The remaining ballots are invalid.
And the board, no, the board doesn't vote on those.
Oh, okay. The absentees we don't vote on?
As long as the absentee arrived in this office postmarked by midnight Monday prior to election, those ballots can
Okay.
count. And the ones that arrived late with flaws do not count. And the board needs rule provisionals on absentees.
Okay.
And so before Ann goes, we just want to tell you thank you. Ann and her staff go through those with a fine tooth comb, backwards, forwards, sideways, provisional drawings, big deal, high end.
Yes?
And we thank you, and thank you for presenting for us so that our board members could hear the explanation.
And not to say, when we talk about provisional ballots, when I first started here, we didn't have provisional voting. And so there's 73 votes that we counted today. In the past, we've been 73 voters that were disenfranchised or didn't get that chance to vote. So that provisional vote is a safety net for these voters that didn't upgrade, update the registration, didn't do what they're supposed to do. And so the provisional ballots work great in Ohio because it allows these voters that chance to vote. Why don't take on that?
Okay, thank you. Chairman's report, I want to thank the staff, the full-time, the volunteers, the poll workers. I think we had a very smooth May 6th primary. I think it was small, but from what we came from the presidential, but we still did an excellent job. Thank you.
Now, the new system that we put in place for election night really did work out well.
Yeah, good.
We were the first large county to report our totals. Out of 10 counties, we got in first. It's not a race, but it's a nice feeling that we were done early and out of here. So we have a few things to clean up on it, but overall, it was a really great process.
I think you shaved an hour, Tom, right? Wasn't it an hour, like in total?
Yeah, almost an
Off of
hour.
our time?
Yeah.
So what did we do different? Because I know you visited the counties and found this process that they did it. Was it Summit County?
I think it was Summit. Was it Summit again?
Stark County.
Stark.
Okay.
And then actually, Tom had been talking about this for a long time. He wanted to shave our time. That was something very important to him. That we shave our time getting our results so that we get them back to the state quicker. But not only that, it was so nice because it went quickly for the staff and it just was beautiful. And so what we did was we had separate teams, bipartisan teams, bring the memory sticks directly back. And we had them come to the A door and all the other supplies to the C door. Normally, we brought them all together, and so they would go to a central pickup and they're waiting. They might be waiting for another location. This time we had 69 teams bringing memory sticks back.
Right. And that's how we used to do it back at the old annex.
Okay.
And then we moved here, we got away from that because it's so congested down here at times, but it really did work out well. We had 91 precincts by 8:15, which is 90 more than we had last year, right?
Yeah, I think Chris said we had 101 at 8:15. Your first updated information after the absentees was at 8:15, and you had 101 precincts in there. And I think Chris said normally, even Chris was like, holy wow. So we made our director happy and the staff did a great job.
Right, because we got our last report, I think it's on the bottom of the time, was 9:07.
Yeah, we did.
The unofficial was 9:07.
And it would have been quicker, but we had that issue at St. Ed's that turned out to be an issue. We sent out 3 machines, only got 2 memory sticks back. And then
So-
we couldn't get back into St. Ed's. I mean, we called everyone from the bishop on down, right?
Only New Coke would have been in
Right.
place.
Yeah. But it turns out they never opened the machine. And so the memory stick was still in the machine, still, as we sent it out, wrapped and
Why
sealed.
didn't they open the
They
machine?
didn't need it.
They didn't
Very
need it, so
slow.
they
Yeah,
didn't
slow,
open the
slow,
machine.
slow.
So-
That makes sense.
Because that was just issue 2 over it, correct?
No, that was
Did they have more?
that was a city,
Oh, that was a city, okay.
but it was so slow, they only opened 2 machines.
Mhm.
It worked out well.
Unfinished business.
Melissa?
No, we're looking to get our new poll books here soon. Working on the memorandum of understanding with the commissioners. You know, we got grant money for that, they'll reimburse. We're working on our website. That's gonna take, it's a six to 8 month process. We've been meeting with our vendor, and we have a little committee in-house, and so that's gonna be beautiful. We need a new website.
Yes,
It's gonna be huge.
Huge. It's gonna be the
But the
best
app works.
website ever.
Right.
the app works better than the website does.
It does.
Yeah, and actually, it's the same vendor. And-
Okay,
And which, right, that's ironic, but our vendor, which we were happy to find that we don't have to pay for this, they're gonna redesign the whole thing because contractually we weren't entitled to it. So once we got rolling and we saw what they were doing it with the other, they actually have some other boards of elections, not just in Ohio, but across the country. So it's really gonna be nice. It's gonna be as nice as the app, if not nicer. And, and Annie's been heading up our committee quite a bit, and she do graphics and everything. It's gonna be really nice.
Yeah, it's gonna look really nice.
So we're excited about that. So we're excited about a quiet summer of projects. That's fun.
Yes,
That's what y'all told me when I took this.
right.
job.
It never worked out.
ebbs and flows,
Yeah, I
yeah.
had three, my whole.
3 special elections in the end.
Any new business?
Do not, Melissa?
Okay. Anything for the good of the order or public comment? You're it? Okay, the meeting will stand in recess until 4 PM when staff returns with the results of the official count. And I did release them to go count it, so. Anything else? We don't need to make a motion for that? Okay.
Yeah, you won't have to come back in, but they will have to leave it for now,
Make a motion for what?
to go into recess. But
Okay.
when we reconvene later, you won't have to motion for now.
Okay. I need a motion for the meeting to stand in recess until 4 PM when staff returns with the results of the official count update.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
The director call the roll.
Vice Chairman Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Robinson?
Yes.
Attorney Baird?
Yes.
Thank you.
Board of Elections will hold a special adjourned meeting of the members of the board on May 19th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoning County Board of Elections offices, 345 Oakville Avenue, with a recess and a motion to reconvene on Monday, May 19th, 2025 at 4 p.m. for certification of the May 6th, 2025 primary special election. Do we have to reopen it with a motion?
We don't.
We don't. All right. Would the director call the roll, please?
Vice Chairman Barger?
Here.
Chairman Beatrice?
Here.
Attorney Robinson?
Here.
Attorney Baird?
Here.
Do we have to do the pledge of allegiance? Not that I
Nope,
wouldn't
we
mind.
only have to do down.
Okay. The board will now certify the official canvass of the May 6th, 2025 special, primary special election. And I think we have the final results here.
In front of you, all the late arriving absentees, provisional's been counted, and we submit this to the state as soon as the board approves it.
How many provisionals was it? Did we have many that we had to
I believe
vote
it
on?
was 71.
Any controversial ones or no?
No,
No.
73, thank you.
Okay, since I wasn't here this morning and since I heard
Took care of
everything
it all.
went relatively well, the chair will now entertain a motion to give an official result to the May 6, 2025 primary.
Correct.
I make a motion to accept the summary results report dated May 19th at 2:20 PM today.
Is there a second to the vice chairwoman's motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by member Denise Bayer. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? I have just one question, so we can skip over the next one. There are no automatic,
There are not,
and there's no ties?
no ties this time, no automatic recounts this time.
Board tenure, I've never gotten a flip a coin. A little upset.
For the recount, it has to be within 1.5%
Yeah.
and none of the races meet that requirement.
Just as a comment, Denise, the one time I couldn't flip a coin, I had COVID. In 10 years on this board, no longer.
Yeah, you've been here.
15 years.
15 years.
15 years, I have not gone able to flip a coin. Very upsetting.
Sammy has,
I know, because I had COVID, they got to do it.
for the record, is the worst.
Vote
vote
for ever. Still went up and came down.
I saw it in the air.
All right.
I practiced
Any
since
more
then.
comments, questions, or hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Vice Chairman Barger,
Yes.
Chairman Beatrice,
Yes.
Attorney Robinson.
Yes.
Attorney Bayer.
Yes.
Since there are no mandatory necessary recount votes, and unfortunately, I'm not able to flip a coin again in my 15th year, as directed by the Ohio Revised Code, and no recount is needed. The next scheduled adjourned regular meeting for audit of the May 6th, 2025 primary special election will be held on June 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. with a recess to reconvene at 4 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Yeah, okay. Lisa Robinson makes a motion to adjourn. Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger adjourned. Would the director call the roll?
Chairman Beatrice.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Barger,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Barger.
Yes.
Attorney Robinson,
Yes.
Attorney Bayer.
Yes.
This meeting is now adjourned.
Did I say that loud?
Oh,